So let's continue. So what I want you to underline, George, what he did, he trod it on the butter. Okay, I didn't say anything, but I came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them. Now, the writer was actually enjoying the whole scene. So he said nothing, but he sat on the table to watch them do stuff. Let's see. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. So it was irritating his friends. I felt that. It made them nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them and then couldn't find them when they wanted them. And they packed the piles at the bottom and put the heavy things on top and the piles in. So these friends, they were so irritated, or they got so nervous that they started doing everything in a wrong way. Right? This everything messed up. Now see here, they upset salt over everything. And as for the butter, underline this part. I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. Underline from here. George had got it off his slipper. They tried to put it in the kettle. It wouldn't go in, and what was in wouldn't come out. They did scrape it out at last and put it down on a chair, and Harry sat on it, and it was stuck to him, and they went looking for it all over the room. Understand what they actually did. George, he trod it on the butter. Somehow he took it off his slipper, and finally they tried to put it in a kettle to keep it safe. But of course that's not possible, so they tried to scrape it out of the kettle. What was in it was not ready to come out, and what was out was not ready to get it. So it was difficult for them to put butter into a kettle. They scrape it out somehow, right? They took it out and they kept it on the chair, right? They kept the butter on the chair, remember, and Harry sat on it. Harry sat on the butter, and that butter stuck to him, to his trousers, right? And they went looking for the butter all around the room. So they were looking, where's the butter, where's the butter? And actually the butter was stuck where? On Harris's trousers. Okay. So remember this butter episode, just like the toothbrush one, it is important. I'll take my oath, put it down on that chair, said George, staring at the empty seat. Now George was telling Harris that I swear I kept the butter on the chair, right? I saw you do it myself not a minute ago, said Harris. And Harris was thinking, yeah, of course I saw you keeping the butter there on the chair. How come it's not there, right? Then they started round and round the room looking again for it, and they met again in the center and started at one another. Now they both kept looking for the butter all around the room, right? And then finally they met in the center of the room and they were like, where's the butter? Most extraordinary thing I've ever heard of, said George. Now George was actually worried. He said, I've never seen something like that I kept the butter there and it's no more there. So mysterious, said Harris. And then George got round at the back of Harris and saw it. Now what George did, he must have got behind Harris and he saw that it was stuck on his trousers. Why, here it is all the time, he exclaimed indignantly. So he said, oh my God, this butter was stuck here every time, right on your trousers. Where? Cried Harris, spinning around. So Harris was just turning around. Where is the butter? And it was actually stuck on his trousers. Stand still, can't you? Roared George, flying after him. So George made him stand still, and then they got it off and packed it in the teapot. Just imagine the same butter, they took it off from his trousers and they packed it in a teapot. Okay. So this part is over. Let's see page number 101. Now what happens? Now Montmorency was in it all, of course. Now comes your dog part. Now this dog was actually very active. Montmorency's ambition, underline it, his ambition was in life is to get in the way and be scolded. Now, poor dog, his actual ambition or was, to get into the way and then get scolded. If you can swim in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted and be perfect nuisance and make people mad and have things thrown at his head, then he feels his day has not been wasted. Now this poor dog, the word here, it means that he could actually enter into anything. All right, he'll enter in between the two people talking anywhere, wherever he was not wanted. That's the worst thing. And he could actually, make a perfect nuisance of himself. And then people, they get mad at him, they throw things at him, and that's how he would love his day. This poor dog, he used to get hit by the people, and that's when he's satisfied. To get somebody to stumble over him, these were the things. He was happy. If you're walking, he'll enter, into your way and you'll fall off. And curse him steadily for an hour. And of course, the person who will fall down will curse him for an hour. Is his highest ambition, aim, and object. This was his highest aim, to get cursed. And when he has succeeded in accomplishing this, his conceit became unbearable. His conceit becomes unbearable. So that was his ambition, to get into the way, to spoil things, to run around, to get scolded, to get cursed, and that was his permanent day. He came and sat on things just when they were wanted. So what he would do, if you need you need something, this poor dog, he'll go and sit on that. You'll keep looking around for that thing throughout, but the dog is sitting on it, so you can never find it. And labored under the fixed belief that whenever Harris and George reached out their hands for anything, it was his cold, damp nose that they wanted. Okay, so whenever I'm sorry, George and Harris were packing things and they were, just reaching their hand out. Okay, now they're about to pick something. So what they'll find? This dog's wet nose. This poor dog will enter everywhere so that he could get some, love, whatever. So whenever George and Harris, they were trying to pick things, this dog was entering in. And the first thing that they were touching was his damp nose. Okay, he put his leg into the jam and played with the teaspoons. Okay, so just imagine the dog, and pretended that the lemons were rats, and he was actually, playing with the lemons as if they were rats, and got into the hamper and killed 3 of them. Oh my God, just imagine. He actually entered into one of the hampers, right, bags, and he killed 3 of the rats. That means you can imagine he scorched 3 of the lemons, fine, before Harris could land him with a frying pan. And Harris, what he did, he took the frying pan and hit him, right? Harris said, I encourage him. So Harris even said that the writer encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. A dog like that doesn't want any encouragement. It's the natural original sin that is born in him that makes him do things like that. So the writer says here, no, I do not encourage this poor dog. It's only that this dog loves doing stupid things, and it is in him. It is, born in him. It is there. The quality, we just cannot take it out. The packing was done at 12:50, and Harris sat on the big hamper and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. Okay, Harris actually sat on one of the bags and he was hoping that nothing would break, and this thought seemed to comfort him. He also said he was ready for bed. We were all ready for bed. Harris was to sleep with us, that night and we went upstairs. So finally their packing was over, everything was done, and their packing was finished by 12:50, right? And then they were ready to go to bed. Right, so it's a nice story. Just read it so you'll have an idea what this is all about. So you don't have to worry. Right, just read it once. Then I'll send you the question and answers. We'll discuss the question and answers, and I'll send you the question and answers. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. And I'll be sending you the question and answers of I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings and Odysseus reference to context as well. Okay, so just read the chapter. Okay, thank you.